Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson. I'm a linguist, published author, and an ardent fan. And this is an appreciation, this is an exploration of linguistics, language, and everyday anger, as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with This Town from Spike, released in 1989. This songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello's birth name. From an album that is ostensibly 5 albums in one, it is a marvelous piece of writing that is a 3-act play, or perhaps it's a classic film noir, or perhaps, as referenced in the liner notes of Spike, is something straight out of the newspapers at the time. But with the patented Elvis Costello dagger twist, of course. That Charlie Sedarka was a playin' the piano like he was pawing a dirty book. He bit a hole in his big bottom lip and gave his very best little boy look. It was a song with a topical verse, which I'm afraid he then proceeded to sing. Something about the moody doomed love of the fish finger king. The faithful end rhymes and the AABB scheme of book and look and singin' king are nearly beside the point of the masterful internal structure of this first verse. Taken line by line, that Charlie Sedarka was a playin' starts the piece off in a convivial, whimsical, and almost folksy manner. Good old Charlie, he's at it again. Yet we soon learn it's in a ham-fisted way that looks very much like he's pawing a dirty book. The second line, filled with alliteration, brings Charlie's description, demeanor, and intent into sharper focus with just a few strokes of the pen. The consonants of bit, big, bottom, best, boy, they all bubble up to the surface where the lilting L sound echoes whole, lip, little, and look. He's a pouty boy who has practiced at the art of superficial charm. 2 more perfectly matched opening lines to a song or an album are difficult to find. That Charlie Sedarka was a playin' the piano like he was pawing a dirty book. He bit a hole in his big bottom lip and gave his very best little boy look. Any other writer might construct an entire piece around these powerful lines, but we're just getting started. So what was that Charlie Sedarka playing on the piano? Something about the moody doomed love? It rolls right off the tongue just before sparks fly from the fish finger king. Notice how these 4 lines are comprised almost entirely of keen observations, with very little to no judgment or opinion proffered past the constrained, a topical verse which I'm afraid he then proceeded to sing. And even that line is just a little lament, not an outright judgment. The lines fit together so well, right down to their syllable count. The first and third lines, 22 syllables each. The second and fourth lines, nearly 18 syllables each, if you count the held sound at the end of the last word and the last line. Remarkable. Certainly, there is more to Charlie. Well, old Charlie was just the first verse. But first, the interlude. You're nobody in this town. You're nobody in this crowd. You're nobody until everybody in this town knows your poison, got your number, knows it must be avoided. You're nobody till everybody in this town thinks you're a bastard. What do you make of this chorus? Is it judgment or keen observation? Well, you'll get another chance to hear it after this second act is finished. Mr. Getgood moved up to Self-Made Man Row, though he swears that he's the salt of the earth. He's so proud of the kick me hard sign that they hung on his back at birth. He said, I appreciate beauty. If I have one, then it's my fault. Beauty is on my pillow. Beauty is there in my vault. The idiom, salt of the earth, denotes a very good and honest person. Making your way in the world seems admirable, yet the need to defend your accomplishments suggests this self-made man might not have come by his wealth and station without having committed a few transgressions. Never mind all that, Mr. Goodgood will never let go of the hardscrabble upbringing. He understands the finer things in life, and it's by no accident that it's lying in his bed or stashed away in his safe. You're nobody in this town. You're nobody in this crowd. You're nobody till everybody in this town knows your poison, got your number, knows it must be avoided. You're nobody till everybody in this town thinks you're a bastard. So, with the refrain echoed again, we now move on to the third act in this noir character examination. The girl with the eternity rock went down on her bookie to buy some stock. Now all the signs in the shopping arcade say the corporation thief is the new Jesse James. As good as the pair of rock and stock are in the middle of one line, this verse gets better and better with arcades and James. The corporation thief is the new Jesse James is a loaded idea indeed. Written in the late 80s when the marauding and pillaging of corporate culture was reflected in personal conspicuous consumption, these lines speak to how corporations were being fully thought of and treated as if they were human beings, right down to their freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Her clothes and her attention were scant. Her eyes were everywhere. Her eyes were like absinthe. The little green figures that dance on your screen say everything you want to hear and nothing they mean. The little green figures that dance on your screen takes us back to a time before graphic interfaces, when computers were black screens emblazoned with jagged green characters made out of phosphor. Much like the spirit itself, the line, her eyes were like absinthe, certainly packs a punch. Her eyes were green, presumably. Her eyes were intoxicating. Her eyes were dangerous. Her eyes had a mystical and toxic quality to them. The allegories are apt to go on for days, all strong and all sexy. Oscar Wilde, because it is always Oscar Wilde, is quoted as saying, after the first glass of absinthe, you see things as you wish they were. After the second, you see them as they are not. And finally, you see things as they really are. And this is the most horrible thing in the world. Absinthe is distilled much like gin is, but then it goes on to be infused with grand wormwood, green anise, and sweet fennel, which suggests it might taste like a black jelly bean due to the mention of anise, but the experts assure us it does not taste like licorice root. It is meant to be mixed and diluted on its own at 130 proof. It is simply much too powerful. Now, back to the end of Act 3. They made love while she was changing her dress. She wiped him off. She wiped him out, and then she made him confess, a little amused by the belief in her power. You must remember this. It was the fetish of the hour. As many times as I have puzzled over these lines, I've never been able to convince myself if the him that is referenced in this third act is good old Charlie or Mr. Getgood, or both, or, most likely, neither of them. Was it the bookie or another fellow that she cleaned out and made confess? The girl with the eternity rock, the green-eyed woman with good business skills, was always in control, never owned by any man in this tale, no matter what charms he possessed. All seemed to be equally prone to getting bound and gagged by her power. Just another great example of how the women who populate Elvis Costello pieces are never objectified, never marginalized. Man or woman, you're nobody until you have angered everybody. Dig it. Again, this has been a slow drag with This Town from 1989's Spike. It's the opening piece that sets up the rest of Spike to scatter into as many fragments as our imaginations can conjure. It's a brilliant piece of writing that is an examination of the characters who breeze in and out of our lives and the charming and calculating things that they do. There are 2 points to underscore yet again. Men and women are painted with the same keenly aware brush, and all the verses contain observations, not judgments, of these colorful characters. It's only the chorus that we're left to ponder if these characters suit the bill of bastard. It is still not a judgment. It's just another keen observation. In a word, it's brilliant. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friends. Thank you all for listening. I encourage each of you to re-listen to episode 10 of Slow Drag with Remedy, A Terrible Crime. It's a slow drag with Let 'Em Dangle, as well as episode 39, The Secrets That It Arouses. It's a slow drag with the very sexy Satellite. Both episodes are slow drags with more gems from Spike. And if you'd be so very kind, please visit our brand new website, slowdragwithremedy.com, for more information and for podcast companion blogs, complete with transcripts and references. We're on Instagram. Simply search for my name, Remedy Robinson, or our podcast, Slow Drag with Remedy. We're also on Twitter at Slow Drag Remedy. Please give us a follow. Say hello. We follow back. And as always, thank you so much for helping get the word out about this little passion project. Your kind comments and favorable ratings have been very appreciated. Truly, it means the world. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drag with Remedy.